Hello everybody. Today I am doing an experiment on an acrylic pour with DecoArt products, and I am mixing up a new formula that I have seen other people use that make beautiful pours, but I tried it once before and considered it kind of a fail. But I also used maybe the wrong product. I had used Elmers Glue, the washable, and Elmers Glue All is the recommendation, which I did not use that. So today it is Elmers Glue All. I got the small bottle. You can get it in a gallon or less, and it's pretty inexpensive. It's probably one of the cheaper things you can use to mix with paint, but it's Glue All, not the washable kids kind. I mean, Elmer's glue is still washable. It's, you know, it's glue, but I just wanted to verify. Elmer's Glue All. The formula they used is 2 parts Elmer's Glue All to 1 part water. So I've taken a squirt bottle, condiment bottle. I've gotten it at a dollar store. You can find them in various locations, or you can order them online. So this is 2 parts Glue All, 1 part water. And the bottle is full. I've mixed it up. I mixed it up in a big cup. It's easier to mix it in a larger cup and then pour it into your mixed up bottle, because when you get it inside the bottle, there's not a lot of room. If you've got it pretty full, there's not a lot of room to mix it up really well and get it all combined. So I mixed it up and then put it into the bottle. So it's 2 parts Elmer's Glue All and 1 part water. This is going to be my pouring medium. The paint ratio to medium is 2 parts paint to 1 part medium. So we've got this mixed up, and so it doesn't get confusing, I went ahead and mixed up this in a bottle so I don't have to remember it's how many parts of Elmer's glue to how many parts of water to how many parts of paint. It's just, now it's just paint versus medium. Here's my medium of glue and water. The ratio is 2 parts paint to 1 part water. Medium, I'm sorry. In the cup, I'm going to add half of what I have in here already, because it's 2 parts paint, 1 part medium. So I'm not measuring specifically. I'm just eyeballing how much I had put in there and putting half of that again into it. So these are all DecoArt Americana, and this is watermelon slice, Bahama blue, sour apple, coral blush, dioxazine purple. There's no method to my colors here. I just picked colors I liked. It may not turn out into a great color combination. I don't know. We'll see. In this cup, I put dashes on my clear plastic cup because it's such a large amount of paint, and I wanted to make sure that I had a mark to go by. So here's 2 parts paint of white, and this is titanium white. This is the premium in the DecoArt. It's a little bit better grade than the bottle paint. It's more towards an artist grade. So here's my 2 parts paint, and I'm going to add my 1 part of medium, which is the glue and water combined. And that took up a lot, and I wanted to make sure and do it last, but I wanted to make sure I had all my stuff mixed in. Okay, so now we're just going to stir up, and typically I use Floetrol and silicone, so this is a very different mixture of paint with glue. And the consistency is really good. I have a little squirt bottle of water in case I needed it to make it the right consistency, but so far that consistency is working well. Another comment I noticed on one of the men that used this on Facebook in one of the groups I'm in is that this maybe doesn't produce as many cells, but his picture, the photograph he provided had lots of cells. It looked really awesome. I think he was saying that once you poured it, it didn't change much once you poured it. But the consistency is great. It pours right off the stick like cream or warm honey, which is ideal. That's what you want. And anytime you mix your paint with any kind of medium, make sure to scrape around the edges of the cup to get it all blended in smoothly. So I didn't have to add any extra water or anything to any of these. I'm not adding silicone, so I don't know if I'm going to get cells. That's going to be a mystery until we pour. This is my big cup of white. I always have lots and lots of white. Or if you're using black as your contrasting color, I always use a lot of extra, and that contrasting color that you're gonna usually it's white or black, just because white and black provide the greatest contrast in colors with other colors. People swipe mostly with black or white, but you can swipe with any color. And that's going to be my next video, is swiping in a different manner. So this is taking a little bit more mixing up than the little cups, obviously, because you're working with such a large amount of paint. I'm going to scrape around the edges. The consistency is great. So I'm going to close up my water bottle. I don't need it for any reason. I'm going to move the paints out of the way. I'm going to close up my Elmer's Glue and Water pouring medium that I made myself. I'm going to put on my gloves. These are bathroom cups. They're a perfect size for small pours or small amounts of paint. You know, you can get a bunch of bathroom cups for a very little amount of money. You can get them at the dollar store. All right. Give this white one last stir. It runs in a continual stream, and that's exactly what you want. So here's my canvas. Just so you, sometimes you can't tell from a video how large something is. It is 16 by 12. As you can see, I've already done a pour on this canvas because of the paint on the back, but I have push pins in the corner. I coated it with a coat of white gesso. It was the end of the bottle of gesso, and it was kind of, almost had a little bit of a smell to it, but I'm hoping this will work. It's old, it was I guess older gesso, but I just gave it a coat of white, and I am going to also put more white down. This is a little plastic spreader. You can get it at any hardware store. You can get like a 3-pack of different sizes for under $3. Some people use icing spatulas. I've used a kitchen spatula, just whatever you have that's got a, you know, a nice straight edge to help you spread. I like to go ahead and put a thin layer of white or black or whatever color I'm using on the canvas, just to help what you pour onto it to move around a little. I do not use a heat torch, I use a heat gun. And because the person that I got this formula from, his post on Facebook, he mentioned not having a lot of cells or cell action, but so I may not use this, I may and I may not, but there's some bubbles in the white, so that just removes any little bubbles. And I have a little chunk of paint. So this is ready. I'm gonna move it just a bit and put my cup here for you to watch the pour. Start out with a little white. Do the dioxazine purple, watermelon slice, coral blush, Bahama blue, sour apple, do the white again, I'm going to go in reverse again. Sour apple, the Bahama blue, coral blush, watermelon, I do the white, and purple on top. So I have roughly a half a cup of paint here. I probably always put more paint than I need in a cup, but it's so you can, you know, add later if you need to add something. So I'm always wondering if I have enough. I think I have enough paint. Okay, so right now, This is, this has the white mixture in it, so that's what you're seeing. But now there's cells popping up, and I don't have any silicone in it, no Floetrol. It's strictly paint, glue all, and water. And it is making some cells. I'm surprised. I am going to do the heat gun just to see if anything else pops up. Not really. It's like the white is popping through, if anything. This is a heavy duty oil pan that I get at the dollar store, or you can get at Walmart, wherever. The wonderful part about it is when your paint drippings dry, once you get kind of a thicker layer, you let it dry really good, you can peel it out and keep using this. Now if you get like an inch of paint in here, it's never gonna dry underneath the skin on top. It's gonna be too thick. So if you keep it fairly thin and let it dry, you can peel it out, which is what I've done in this pan, and I've used it multiple times. Here's a craft stick that was attached to the edge of the pan. So this is really brown looking. I don't want that, so I'm gonna try to go over that edge. The colors, to be as vibrant as they are in the cups, are very pastel and muted, and it's pretty though. It's very soft, and I like this, and I like the turquoise coming out. So I don't want to lose this. I have some paint left in the cup. Also, I mentioned in all my videos, I have butcher paper on the table. This is like butcher paper they use in a meat shop, and it has a plastic coated side and a side that is like paper. And I bought mine at Hobby Lobby. You can also order it online. It's 30 inches deep and 50 feet long, and it goes a long way as far as using it. You can wipe it down because it has the plastic coating, And once paint dries, if it's thick enough, you can peel it off, and you've got your craft paper still under there, but it's butcher paper. It's not banner paper that comes in rolls that you can find everywhere. It's called butcher paper. So the interesting part about this is there's basically not a lot of cell action going on, except for some of those white cells that pop through got bigger. So this is one way you can get your cells that you do have to grow bigger, but I don't have a lot of cells, but it has that very organic, like a geode kind of look to it. Like, you know, those beautiful rocks that, you know, that when they're split open, you see all the layers. And this is kind of what it reminds me of. And the strength of the colors is very diminished, and I don't know why. Maybe because I used too much white. I'm curious if I had just put the colors on top of the white without any white in my dirty pour inside my cup. I'm wondering if it would have been more vibrant. But I like this. It's totally different from anything I've done, and I've done quite a few pours, and I have done a lot of videos, and I like it. I'm not saying I would pour every pour like this, but this is a lot better outcome than when I used the washable Elmer's glue. It did pretty, and I think I put silicone into that as well. So it had lots of cells, and it looked pretty, and it was very vibrant, but when it dried very dark, and it had a lot of cracking and not cracking, but it had a lot of crazing. It was very thick and cratered looking. So here it is. It's very soft and pastel and quite pretty. Very feminine looking. But like I said, I like the aqua turquoise color and the red and orange, but I'm sure it will change as it dries too. I think that was one thing he mentioned, is it didn't change a lot as it dried, but we will see what happens.